But I told this is my friend's daughter got married. It's her second marriage. I was telling her if she does another one,
And I was like,
if her mom had not been dead, I wouldn't have gone to this one. I went to represent her mama, but I said she didn't. I said Stacia, this is it, because we did another one
He is so difficult.
7 years ago down another big hotel down in Atlanta.
tell him no.
I said, and that's the time I paid for your company. No, you didn't pay me for my coming. Tell him.
Just tell him no, Dick.
Jeff's
She had those beautiful
being so
dresses.
difficult.
I said her mama would have been proud,
Oh, they're hearing all this.
but it was a beautiful wedding. But
Good morning and welcome to the Water Sewage Facilities Authority regular meeting. It is November 15th, 2023 at approximately 8:30. At this time, I'd like to request that Mr. Morrow lead us in the invocation and Mr. Skinner lead us in the pledge to the flag.
Just join me. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we come before you today so thankful for the many blessings and bounties that you have provided. We thank you for the blessings of family and our loved ones, friends, this community, and the opportunity to serve on this board. Now we ask you today, as we work our way through the agenda, that you please give us wisdom and understanding and guide us to the best answers and solutions for the benefit of our community and our fellow citizens. So we ask all this in your son's name. Amen.
amen.
Now join me in the pledge to the flag. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen. Do we have a motion to amend the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda,
Thank you.
and somebody's gonna say it.
I'm gonna try not to butcher this. Mr. Chairman, we need to lift from table item 1 under old business. Consider approval of the indirect cost study. And then we need to move or add a new item number 9 under new business. Consider authorizing the general manager to move forward with new office space renovations.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Unanimous, thank you. That's okay, you got to do it, you got us to do it. All right,
That was amendment, didn't approve the agenda, right? Just, or did you
There was a motion to amend.
move,
Now move.
amend and approve both? Okay, I missed that. Thank you.
excuse me, I'm not sure we said that, but we meant that. You got that?
Let's approve it
Okay.
as amended. Thank you.
Chairman, I move we approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Unanimous, thank you. Charlie, do we have anybody signed up for citizens' comments?
No.
Okay, I won't repeat it, it's on the wall if anybody needs to be able to see it. Thank you, Dick. Presentation of indirect cost study. Greg Ashford, Turnip Seed Engineering, please come forward. Everybody should have a packet.
And will it be on the screen as well? No, okay. All right, so the goal of the indirect cost study is to create a simple means of determining the cost that's shared between the water authority and the county. And if costs are incurred on either party between shared resources, that those get properly accounted for and paid for. And there are several iterations of this. There it is on the screen. And the different items that we went through are personnel, There's a rent cost in here as well, as the authority is looking to rent out space, a different space in this building, and wanted to come to a fair cost for that. And then also any services or equipment that are leased between the two, those are accounted in the study as well. And so the objectives were for it to be simple, easy to understand, for it to be flexible so that it can be adjusted year to year if the authority uses more of the county's resources in one year. That's easily calculated with this spreadsheet, and it can be easily updated. And then it's flexible. It can be added to if needed to, but our goal was to put it on one page, make it something that's easy to understand.
Okay, so let me remind everybody where we are with this. We're talking about Joseph's space and where we're gonna be and how much it costs. The Board of Commissioners looked at and approved at our last meeting this same issue. This template will be used, and the price for like rent, if you go into the city, into our area here versus out someplace else, that may change, but the template overall will be used repeatedly. Okay? Any questions about it or concerns?
I heard you say the commissioners were pleased with this, and did I hear that right?
Yes. I think, when you were okay, we asked a question about, specifically, so everybody knows about cost. Does it cost more here than it does if we put something and rented something that was way out someplace else? And we talked about it, and the number, the cost would change for the square footage to be able to do that. And we agreed, yes, that's why the template is simply there as a template. If we're gonna rent a space out there by the jail or something, then we will take that number, stick it in there, and all the rest of the numbers will stay the same. I think Joseph is agreed with this, this template also. All right, any more questions on it?
Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Quinn?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, near the bottom, I don't know, I got this long page like this, I think that's their.
Okay.
Under general appropriations where it talks about the auto insurance,
Mm-hmm.
what does it mean by direct allocation right there?
So the way that the county's finances currently work, they know how many vehicles that the authority has, and the authority pays for that directly. It's not a indirect cost that is shared and has to be spread out. It's based on how many vehicles the authority has.
We're paying the insurance on our trucks.
Yeah, exactly. You're
Okay.
already paying for that directly.
Okay, we're, that has nothing to do with,
Yeah,
The county.
the use of this building.
right.
So, yes, I had on my county commissioner hat and I voted for this, but now I'm putting on my water authority hat. And I think these numbers might be okay, except for the fact we're gonna stand up GIS to the county, right? So how much is that gonna be worth when we provide
Yeah.
that service to them?
Do you have the one that looks like this with the yellow
I
on
might
it?
have it from the other
It's
day.
stapled
Next
together.
page under, the one you
Okay.
have.
Second.
All right,
So it's in there. You have a GIS manager and then a GIS analyst, depending on how the how the personnel are handled, whether the county has their own analyst or the county uses authorities analysts.
Well, the county doesn't have GIS, period. So the fact that the water authority is getting it, and maybe we're paying the city for it, maybe we're supposed to be paying the city for it when they do it, Joseph? We was getting it for free.
No, it's
part of
not
the
for free, it's that,
So, the GIS services are part of our contract with the city of Griffin.
Our
It's
water
part of-
contract.
Yes, ma'am. But the county was paying, the city's, Brian Haynes to perform GIS services on behalf of the county.
So I'm just saying, so now that you or us will be providing GIS services, does that mean that the county needs to, who figures out how much that is?
So could I?
Yeah.
So it's my understanding that what we're gonna do is we will keep track of all the projects and the time allocated for water authority business and for elections business, tax assessor business, community development business, administrative, business. So we will keep a rolling log where we can start presenting this on a monthly basis to the board, saying this is how our GIS time is being spent. And it should be accounted for in the final settle in the indirect cost study, or the indirect cost that's transferred to the general fund at the end of the year. Does that make sense? So instead of doing an invoice saying, okay, well, you need to pay us
For
15
GIS services?
Yes, what we will do is we could submit invoices or a rolling 12-month or rolling monthly report to the county saying, this is what we're looking at, this is how much you've spent year to date. And then we can settle up at the end of the year when we do that indirect transfer.
So if I understand this correctly, we go into the year, we the water authority, go into the year owing the county $59,767. We come out at the end of the year, if we're giving them, if we're supporting them with GIS services, with a credit back toward that. So the final number
Could
be
shake out
anything
less,
depending
they
on the
could end up
GIS
paying us.
services we're providing.
So, and I asked those questions to make sure that there is a document that says that this is what's gonna happen at the end of the year with GIS services. And the only thing that I would hope is that either this formula can be translated into how we figure out how much it is costing us to provide those services to the areas of the county, because we don't have anything to give away for free much, but yeah, I'm just on the business side of it, we need to handle our business.
And what I can do is once we hire the manager, and the manager determines the skill sets that he or she needs to complement their skills, what I'll do is I'll meet with Steve and the other departments to understand kind of what their needs are, and we can provide a template of how we can assess this going forward.
Okay.
See, like the general manager, the GIS manager, how much of his time is for the county? 100%, 90%, 70%? And then
Okay.
we know how much money his salary is, and then that's how that works out.
and that's true for both of those boxes on the bottom.
Yeah.
Not
So
just
this is
GIS, but
cost.
any
This is
services that
Yes.
So
are
it's in the
provided by us
Okay.
for the county.
So this is already
Yeah,
set, so that we
this is
can
already
move it
done.
to.
Okay.
Well,
And the same to the authority from the county, such as your inmate labor and things like that. That's not,
Yeah, there's a reciprocal in there. Anything that's provided by us to the county and anything that's provided by the county to us.
so there will be some rates put in this at some point for these different areas, the GIS manager, the analyst, such as they are for the services, the leased services cost at some point.
That's correct. Yeah, once those costs are known,
Once we have a salary for what the GIS manager, that number will go in there, then it's just a percentage that we use of him. And so if he makes $70,000 and we give him 50%, $35,000 is owed to us.
And also for inmate labor, numbers will be populated there. The warden sent me some numbers late yesterday afternoon, so Joseph will be presenting an IGA for y'all in the coming months.
So we don't, nothing to do with the water contract. just the new IGA, okay.
With the county. It will be
With
with
the
the
county,
county,
yeah.
yes,
All right,
for inmate labor.
This is a huge step forward for us to be able to take the first step of us being able to know what we've got and the county to know what and agree. The county has basically already agreed with the template. Now, we will, in a minute, hopefully, we'll agree with it as a starting point. Now, there's nothing that says we can't change this as we go along and say, oh, we're gonna add 2 more people, or we're gonna do something to be able to, but at least it's a start point. And Turnip Seed did a great job giving it to us so that we can use it as a template instead of just giving us a number. And then, okay, now we have to come back 3 months from now, we've hired the GIS guys, hey, Turnip Seed, do it again. And they go, oh, okay. So we like the template idea.
That's the baseline number.
I like this. This is
That we
clean
didn't
and
have
simple
before.
and flexible.
Yeah. All right,
Motion to approve?
No,
Need a
that's,
motion to approve?
I think we have one.
This
It's
is
later,
presentations
that's
only.
later in the
Okay.
agenda, yeah.
yeah, okay, we're all square with that?
Mhm.
And
That's right, it's item
it's
9.
good having you with us again.
Yeah, well, thank
So that you all didn't know, on our regular county meeting, Greg was one of the last people to speak, and it was.
At 11 o'clock at night, just
He was here for a while.
And he waited through the whole thing patiently and then gave us the presentation. All right, thank you, we appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
And later on, we'll vote for this in just a
Okay.
few.
There's item 9.
Okay. Let me see where we are, just a second. Okay, consider approval of the September 2023 regular scheduled meeting minutes.
Mr. Chairman, they appear to be in order unless anybody has a correction or additions. I move we approve those
second.
meetings.
All right, I have a motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. All right, consider acceptance of the October 4, 2023 Planning Committee meeting minutes and the October 6, 2023 Bylaw Committee meeting
Same
minutes.
motion. Same motion, comments.
Thank you. Second?
Second?
All right, I have a motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Unanimous, thank you. Special committee reports, let's start with you, Dick.
Well, we had a robust meeting with lots of stuff, if you will, and it's all in the report there. But we have a consensus to go forward with the sewer visibility continuation. The project with Garver in delineating our assets and including telemetry, and the finance committee will talk about the money. And we also discussed the branding and website consensus to move forward with that. And, see, the rest, I think, well, I'll let the other chairman talk to the others.
It's kind of redundant, it's all right there under new business, but we're gonna approve the spending with the, Lindsay Engineering, the Garver. We have we're gonna request ARPA funds. We will move forward with that when we get into new business.
Okay. All right, anything
So
else?
we had a consensus on all these items that you'll find under new business that we all agree to.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. All right, this time, General Manager report.
So moving into the customer summary report, fiscal year to date, we've added 158 customers, new connections. I will tell you 92% of them are new meters. So that's good. Everything's trending as projected. Moving on to water sales. Fiscal year to date, we've sold 316 million gallons of water, which is roughly a 5% over what we budgeted. Moving on to the non-revenue water report, nothing out of the norm is standing out. I will tell you, the main breaks, calendar year to date, we've had 62, which is, we're actually down so far, looking at the same period last year. So I'm keeping an eye on the trends to make sure that the work we're doing, saying flushing fire hydrants is not causing any undue distress on the system that the city of Griffin's not prepared for. Moving into the meter sales, we are up a total of roughly, 15% if you do the weighted average. So things are tracking on the way that it should. And then go into the fire hydrant summary report. This is where I think we've really excelled so far. So as you see the graph, we're 90% complete as of October. I will tell you, we're projected to finish our 12-month cycle on the 22nd of this month. So, yes. So we're doing well. And we have a tracking sheet that allows for that forward planning. So now what we're gonna start doing is we're going to figure out how we can't add in valve maintenance, part of the fire hydrant maintenance. So more news to come.
Is there any valve maintenance already taking place by the city?
I know they have a valve maintenance program, but I think it's only valves in the city. They may do some on ours if they're broke or they're not operating correctly, but I don't think there's an ongoing valve maintenance program deployed in the county. So we should, I believe our staff has the capacity, looking at the fire hydrant maintenance. I think we have the capacity, if we give them the tools that they need to do the job, I think we can get there.
When you're saying tools, you mean like things you can screw or a machine?
A machine, so there's a hydraulic valve turner that we're gonna put in the budget for next year. It's about $5,000 a unit, but it will reduce the manpower necessary to open and close the valves, because you get a 12-inch valve, you could turn it 100 and something times just to open it, and then another 100 and something times to close it.
Is it truck mounted?
Jesus.
No, it's actually handheld.
It's comical. You should watch them do it
You
manually.
don't have to go to the gym after that.
But we weren't ready for those tools now, because, you know, in this budget, we budgeted for a air compressor. So the air compressor, we're gonna use to actually clean out the valve box to get access to the nut so we can start operating it. So we're moving in the right direction.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. All right.
Moving on with the projects. So the sewer feasibility study, so far we've provided task order number 5. And what that will do is allow us to continue entering in or developing the MOU, the memorandum of understanding between us and the county. We will figure out the stakeholders, start looking at schedules and getting consensus to figure out when we can meet to get that stakeholder meeting up and running. But after today, the sewer feasibility continuation, we're going to be running. Plant number 1 property, the Water Authority sent the letter to the county manager on the 12th of October, officially asking if Spalding County was interested in that property. We have not heard anything back. So I will follow up with the county manager and figure out, has he presented it to the BOC or what was the committee that you were referring to, Ms. Flowers-Taylor? Last month or in August, about the Parks and Leisure, or some committee will actually look at the property and see if they want to continue with that BMX track.
Okay.
It was leisure services to look at it
DLAC.
and see if they would be
okay.
interested.
Yeah.
Y'all caught me, deer in the
Yes.
headlights.
Yeah.
What, just for my own understanding,
Park and Leisure Services Advisory Commission, I think it is.
Yeah, so it would go before PLAC
About
to
Taking
see
a-
if they wanted to send that forward to the commissioners as a recommendation to take that property, and then if it becomes the county's to pursue it for BMX or whatever.
okay.
Now, everybody know what we're talking about? This is the plant. We're closing it down. Now, what do we want to do with it? And it's either option is giving it to selling it, whatever we want to do with the county. The county first has to decide, okay, do we want to use it? If we would want to use it with the BMX concept or not. And first, the county's giving it to Park and Leisure Services Advisory Commission to ask their thoughts on it.
So that's coming to Leisure Services, that request, what do you want to do?
I sent the letter to the county manager. I would assume that he would send it
Okay.
to the right people.
I will check with Leisure
And
Services.
if you don't know,
and see.
Ms. Gwen Flowers Taylor is on that commission.
Okay, I will ask and get back with you.
And should they not be interested, what are we gonna do, put it up for sale?
Yeah, the whole thing starts with them, is this gonna do? At one time, we thought BMX was really, really gonna happen.
Right.
And now we're backing off and not quite so sure that BMX is really gonna do anything. They said, oh, maybe we will participate with you all quarterly, semi-annually, annually. So we're a little less certain, as I understand it.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to let Leisure Services look at it, and then they'll have an opportunity to go over there and walk on the ground and see what they can imagine in their brain
Yes.
could work out there.
Okay?
Moving on to fiscal year 21 CDBG, Phase 2. The project is all the gravity sewers been installed. 36 homes have been connected. All the homes have been connected that wanted to be connected. And we are in the project closeout procedure for that grant.
All right, now where are we on, we've done phase 2, on one of them, we've done phases 1 and 2, right?
That's, yes, this is Phase 2 of that Dundee Mills
And
area.
so the next phase is phase 3, and that finishes it out,
It would, correct.
okay?
So my concern with that, Mr. Chairman, is that as an authority, we need to always look at, I think, return on investment. And while I think that we provided a very valuable service to people who would probably in the next 10 years we would have had to have done something, we're just not seeing the development come out of that neighborhood that we hope would spur it. It's been, what, 2 years?
I think it dates back to 2018.
So clearly, we had to have this number to be eligible for the CDBG grant. But it looks like only this number is actually tied on to the water line. So we didn't get the biggest bang for the bucks, and I'm not blaming anybody, I'm just
Yep.
reflecting. We didn't get the biggest bang for our bucks. Nobody came in yet interested in doing any kind of redevelopment, because that would basically have to be the county, because we've done our part. And I just wonder, I know people don't like to leave things undone, but all we would do in continuing that project is to help give the city of Griffin more customers, which I'm not mad at them about that, but basically that's throwing money away. So I would hope that we would consider that when we start looking at where we want to ask for a CDBG, because I don't think our best money is going to be found finishing, well, not finishing phase 3, but certainly if we're asking for money from a CDBG, that's like, to me, that's flushing it down the toilet, because we see that nothing's going to happen in that place that we've invested all this money and turn the resources over to the city of Griffin. I think we just need to look at where that money, that CDBG request will have the biggest effect on what area we're talking about working in. I mean, I was all gung-ho for it, that's my district, but there is literally nothing changed since we put those water lines and sewer lines
Correct.
in up there.
Are you, I don't know where you are on your report, Christian.
So
You have more to go, I guess.
I'll talk about the
Yes,
the FY24 grant and a couple more projects. So an update on the Flint River Bridge. I had a typo in here. We're actually 98% complete. We should be testing today, the water line. As soon as we hit a successful pressure test and bacteria test, that line's going to be activated and we will start abandoning the existing line. So that project is progressing correctly. And I would anticipate us finishing up shortly, sometime in early December.
Do
We'll
we take
find-
that pipe out of the ground, or we just leave it there?
No, so per GDOT's standard, anything that's going to be under the new road bed has to be filled with concrete. So we're only going to fill a portion of that line. The rest of it is going to be out in the shoulder. So it'll just stay where it is.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll abandon it in place.
There was, in our meeting, a discussion about extra cost because of a temporary bridge is.
That's a different project. I'm getting to that right now.
Okay, that's a different project.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. And the Flint River Bridge, we've submitted progress payment number 1 to GDOT, and we've also submitted a contract price adjustment to get, because when we sent the original contract with the state, they estimated the contract price based on estimated values. Well, now that we have actual values and then we know that change order number 1 was approved, we've requested that that price be increased. So I'm still waiting on to hear back from the state, but all indications are they're going to approve it. Moving on to the County Line Road Bridge replacement. So as I mentioned in the Planning and Finance meeting, we are preparing that utility bid assistant document to submit for monies because the temporary work bridge is now being proposed for that bridge replacement. And we're still compiling that information. Now, moving on to fiscal year 24 grant application. So we had the kickoff meeting on October 10th. Alan Smith and Paragon were both there. A couple things came out of that meeting. Alan Smith said that we needed to amend the SDS map that's currently on file with DCA because the Spalding County Water and Sewage Facilities Authority's area was not denoted in the legend. So we have prepared the map. We have prepared a letter. As soon as y'all authorize me, we will send it to both the county and the city, asking for that map to be updated. And then we've created target zone maps and got a list of all the addresses. And I'm going to be getting with Miss Fanny and Miss Flowers Taylor on getting some contact information for community members where we can start going out and doing the surveys in all the areas. And just to reiterate, the plan is we are going to survey all 3 areas, which includes phase 3 of the Dundee Mills area. But when we get the findings back, we're going to present it to the Planning and Finance committees, and then they're going to pick the project that they want to submit the application for. And then the remaining line items are just projects in the queue with community development. And if you, Parker's done a great job of doing a summary and background, giving you an itemized report of number of lots, number of square foot for commercial and industrial, and then additional notes saying where these projects are in the queue. And if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them, or bring Parker up and let him answer them as well.
Any questions on that?
How many Dollar Generals are we gonna have?
I wish I could answer that.
About 15,000 of them now and growing.
Every place that's 10 square feet.
All right, you done?
Yes.
All right, do I have a motion to accept the general manager's
So
report?
moved.
And do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Unanimous, thank you. Old business. At this time, I'd like to have a motion to lift from the table the indirect cost study.
Mr. Chairman, I move we lift that from the table.
I have a
Second.
motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. We now have lifted that from the table.
Mr. Chairman, I now move we approve the indirect cost study and authorize general manager to move forward.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Unanimous, thank you. New business. Consider approval of proposed bylaw amendments as recommended by the Bylaws Committee. If you, in your packet, you should have the resolution. Key in the resolution is 3 unexcused absences within 12 months.
I forget, who did this? Who was chair of this?
Me,
Okay.
me and Cheryl and,
Me.
yeah, and Clay.
Okay.
And Fanny?
We had 2 portions, one of them we did not forward, one we did forward, and this is the one we did forward.
Well, it sounds like a very workable, reasonable policy to me. 3 is not expecting
And-
too much, I don't think, at,
And truly,
Just the more
so
than 3.
everybody has my view on it, we're not having an issue with this right now. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, a little bit different story. But we're not having an issue with people attending meetings and being full-time engaged. But if we get back to that issue, we want to be able to do something to do that. All right? Do I have a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you. Thank you to the bylaws committee for what they got through on this one.
I appreciate this because I am going to ask, the county to look at this as the reflection for other boards that clearly are having problems with having enough people at their meeting.
I have it and can add it to any board that wants it.
Okay.
Thank you. Way to go. Yes, it is a big issue, and we have been having people not making it, and we can't do anything about it until we get this done. All right. Item number 2, consider approval of the Sewer Utility Foundation Plan and the task order form from Lindsay Engineering and Consulting LLC in the amount of $130,247 as recommended by the Planning and Finance Committee.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve this, move forward with our sewer plan.
I second.
All right, I have a motion and a second.
These are funds that have already been approved in the budget.
I have 2 questions about this, or a question and a comment. First, if we broke these apart, they're underneath your signature authority anyway.
That's correct.
Okay, so this is, secondly, is there a requirement to bid this out?
No, these are
Not for
professional
professional
services.
services.
Yeah, these
I
are
just
professional
wanted to make sure
services.
everybody was square on why this isn't being bid out and everything. All right?
No, we have a master contract with that engineer.
We do, we
We're
have a
moving our way
general
through that
service
contract.
agreement with Lindsay.
I just wanted to make sure, so if anybody's asked, how come we didn't get this bid out?
Okay.
I was asked about it. All right. Do I have a motion to approve?
You do,
Okay, and a second?
yes.
Yes, I would say.
A motion and a second?
Yeah.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Unanimous, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I have to recuse myself from the next item.
Okay, thank you. Does he have to state a reason?
He does.
I am employed by that company.
Okay, that's a good reason.
And, Mr. Chairman,
Can
he
he leave?
can remain in the room if he so chooses. Often it's recommended to leave, but if he stays, he can't participate in the
Don't go
We
too
already
discussion.
voted.
Yeah, don't go too far.
Okay. The
No,
next thing
yeah,
you're talking
yeah,
about.
that's, vacations does that to you.
Please note, he's driving a new truck.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
You are so bad.
He's gonna pay it off today.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, can you restore order, please?
Yeah. Consider approval of the MR Systems quote in the amount of $49,605 for water tank telemetry as recommended by the Planning and Finance Committee.
Motion to approve.
Second,
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Unanimous, -1. You can come back in now, thank you.
Oh, that was it. You could just say that and just say,
Across the street. It'd be across the street.
Thank you. Item number 4, consider approval of the Garver Master Service Agreement and Task Order Form in the amount of $15,000 for GIS services.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
I do got a question.
Okay.
Do we have to get some special equipment for as an authority, we need to buy something special to do GIS?
No, ma'am, we already have the software.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all I had, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. This is the GIS contract. Yes, it's unanimous, thank you. Item number 5, consider recommendation from the Finance Committee to formally request ARPA funds from the county for water and wastewater projects.
I so move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Unanimous, thank you. I hope the county will be nice enough to do that with us. Item number 6, consider approval to create branding for the Water Authority and move forward with the creating a website apart from the county's website as recommended by the Planning and Finance Committee. This
So
is.
moved.
Okay, excuse me, go ahead.
I move we approve.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Unanimous, thank you. Consider approval directing the general manager to request that the county remove itself from the trust indentured with Minerva as recommended by the Planning and Finance Committee.
So moved, approve.
All right,
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Unanimous, thank you. Item number 8, consider approval directing the general manager to send a letter to Spalding County and the city of Griffin asking for an administrative revision to be made to the SDS map to show the Water Authority service area in the legend.
I move we approve.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Just a comment for those who weren't there, this was brought up to the city once before, and they refused because they thought it would reopen negotiations, but by putting in administrative,
Revision?
hopefully it'll sail through without causing a problem.
Opening up SDS is not something that the county wants to do that, I can tell you.
Oh, we won't be doing that.
Yes. All right. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you.
May I ask Joseph a question real quick on that? Have you had any talk with Brandon or somebody over there since we changed it to administrative? Have you got any feedback?
I have not.
Okay.
But I will make a comment, if we can't get that SDS map revised, Alan Smith is not confident that we can submit a grant application for a future CDBG.
So that's a must.
Yeah, right.
Okay, let's
All right.
cross one bridge at a time. We hope that this works out. All right, new item number 9. Consider authorizing the general manager to move forward with a new office space renovation.
So moved.
And do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
By the way, yesterday, they were sawing the new door down there. I think they've started.
They're hauling stuff in right now.
We were trying to have a tax
They're pretty
assessor
loud
meeting,
if they're not.
and the
They
Sawzall
haven't
was
started.
going like crazy.
Remember the water thing that we just saw 90%'s already done for the year? Yeah, that's where the general manager already is with this. All right, any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Unanimous, thank you. I remind the board that the December meeting has been canceled. Before I move on and say January, I want to make sure if we think that there needs to be a December meeting. I know it's Christmas time and I understand all that, but if you think there needs to be a meeting, let's not get caught up in not having a meeting. So the people I've talked to said, I don't think we need a meeting in December, but I want to make sure the board has thought through it. Anybody think that we need to do something in December?
In our planning meeting, the goals we had set was moving, rolling on into January and having things prepared by then, so.
Well, we just gave Joseph 9 things to work on. I think he's got enough.
Okay.
Thank you all. I appreciate that.
All right, so the next meeting will be January 17th, 2023 at 8:30 here.
2024.
2024, excuse me, yes. Thank you, good catch. The secretary treasurer is not here. Any new comments from the general manager?
water authority?
No.
You don't understand that? Yeah.
My mind just went blank.
Windows is performed in illegal operation.
Hey, you've been.
Well,
drinking
I
the
will
same
say,
coffee
I
I'm
did not direct anybody to go cut down any doors. I can promise you that.
All right, let's start over with Ms. Fanny.
No, thank you.
Comments?
None?
Ms. Cheryl?
No.
Jeff?
I just want to say that my short 2-year term with this board expires at the end of this year. And during my involvement, I've seen a tremendous amount of work take place and progress. My desire and hope is to be reappointed to another 6-year term, if that's the desire of the Board of Commissioners.
I should have made the same comment, because I think I'm up for this too, aren't I?
No.
you
I'm not?
a while
No.
ago.
Oh, okay, never mind.
According to Charlie, you're not.
Well,
Cheryl
then-
is in that same bailiwick.
Good, I'll
And
be here in
Cheryl,
January, ready to
are you making that
work.
same comment
Hope you
about
are
another
too.
6 years? Oh, okay. We just wanted to keep asking.
She did at the finance committee.
Oh, she did it at the finance committee?
No,
that
she
would
did
like-
not.
Okay.
Related to the finance.
Yeah, we'll
What are you
vote for
talking
it.
about?
All right, Ms. Gwynn?
Yeah, I just don't understand Cheryl. She's not trying to play with us.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Like I said, if the term was shorter, maybe, but not 6 years.
hey, I feel you. I just want to say, to go along with what Jeff said, I am so excited. I'm so excited about everything that we've gotten done, that we're letting Rebecca walk us through this thing, and hopefully we'll hit the steps and get where we're going. Because after sitting on this board for more than 15 years, it feels so good to actually know that there's a game plan. And I feel sad because in 2010, I was still here then, 2010, I think it was a 2010 SPLOST, we got $6 million from the county, maybe 6 or 7, to do infrastructure. We kept that money so long, they took it back. We took it back. So the door has opened for possibly for us another opportunity when we have something that's ready to go. So yeah, I'm just really excited about the future of the Water Authority. That's it.
Thank you. Jim?
I agree.
Other than to thank Cheryl for her leadership,
Amen.
we appreciate you very much, and we know you're staying on.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see you
You
next
know,
year.
if we get a vote, do we think we could get the watch out? Your eyes are sleepy, you're saying yes? Okay, all right. All
I
right.
appreciate it very much, but 6 years is.
Okay, Vice Chair?
I'd like to second Jim's comments, and I'm concerned for the court reporter, because she looked very frustrated.
Okay.
Just stay one more year until.
I'd like to make a couple of comments. First, happy Thanksgiving, and hope everybody has a Merry Christmas, since we won't be meeting between now and then. And I appreciate everybody's dedication. As you heard, we've had some years where it hasn't been this way, and we are really changing. I'd like to kind of segue into some stuff I say as county commissioner, and talking with people throughout the county about what do they like about the county, what do they want to see changed, and things like that. Most of the comments I hear are first about, I like the way the county looks, being a rural county. I like seeing trees, I like seeing crops growing, I like seeing animals out there. I like that. Vice versa of that, I don't want us to become Henry County. Second part of that is we don't like the taxes. We grew up with them all our life, but we want them to do something to be able to reduce taxes as we go forward, if you're visioning things in the future, Clay. My vision for the future is starting with 16 and what we're doing. My thought is we're going to have commercial, industrial, warehouses, those kinds of things on 16. We've been trying to do that for a while. We have the overlay set up to be able to do that, and then to be able to keep it in the green environment that we like seeing, trees and everything, making sure that through zoning and everything, that if we build warehouses and things like that, it's not like the Dollar General warehouse that's out there by the interstate, that you can't see it, that we put trees up around it, sound barriers, and be able to do stuff like that, and be able to increase the tax that we get, which will, in the end, reduce our individual taxes to be able to do better things for us. If it all went the way Clay's vision, we could make as much as a 4 mil change in taxes, which is really significant to be able to get it down to where most of the people who talk to me say 4 mils, and I'm into that vision, Clay. We're talking about 25, 26, 2025, 26. So we've got a couple of years to be able to get through this, but that's the vision for getting where I am looking at us to be able to do this. We have set this thing up so that the piping going down 16 is going to be for industrial use, warehouses, commercial, and not going to be for the most part, for residential. That's not our desire, so everybody needs to think through that. We have plenty of residential coming into our community now. We've got 4,000 homes coming in at the Teeman 155 area up there. That's plenty of movement forward. That's going to give us a 10% increase in population across the board for us. So when Gwen said something about us moving forward, this is huge steps that we're taking to be able to do it. This is the first step. 16 is our first step. We're going to look at other places once we get 16 worked out and we've gone through the process one time. That first time template is why I want us to go slow so that we get it just right. So then when we go to other places, we have a template to be able to follow. All right, that's a long tirade, I'm sorry. I'd like to have a motion to request to conduct an executive session to discuss future acquisition or sale of real estate as provided by OCGA 501434. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous, thank you. Executive session, please.
Okay. Now I'm for real gonna go to the gym. I believe I got time.
All right, do I have a?
Motion to come out of closed session.
Second.
Executive session.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Thank you. All right,
Motion to
do I have a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. We're adjourned, thank you.
All right.
All right, guys. Have a wonderful holiday.
Same.
I'm planning on staycationing myself.
I'm not gonna get this year.
This year.
Wow. Okay, let me try to think.